What's up everyone, I'm Bruce Uwa. Hope y'all are having a good day. On today's episode of Wingman Wednesday, we're going to be introducing a new format called a look back. This is where I share my experience exploring a specific military event or location. Now on today's episode, a look back is going to be focusing on my time in Korea, specifically the Korean War Museum, the DMZ, and the third tunnel. Alright, let's get into it. Now when I arrived in Korea in early 2016, it was a little bit different than it is now. South Korea was still considered to be at war with North Korea. Donald Trump was not president, and all enlisted military personnel still had a curfew. But one thing that I do know is that when you still arrive there, one of the things that they do is require you to visit the DMZ and the third tunnel. Now, they encourage you to visit the Korean War Museum as well, and I definitely recommend that you do. Now, while I can't share all of my experience regarding the DMZ and the third tunnel, my visit to the Korean War Museum is what really spoke to me. Now, to my knowledge, all units at Osan Air Base fund your visit to go visit the DMZ and the third tunnel. Now, they'll also allow you to schedule this during your duty week. That way you can have a full experience of those locations. That trip will take you to multiple locations that are very important in the history of South Korea and the North Korean conflict. Now, you'll also visit a lot of little shops that have small stores. That way you can purchase memorabilia. Now, one of them is a shopping area that is connected to the Freedom Bridge. Now, the Freedom Bridge is where South Korean prisoners that were captured by North Korea were returned to South Korea. I believe that was in 1953, and approximately 13,000 South Koreans were freed and returned to South Korea from North Korea, and they crossed this bridge to get back home. Now, this site also has a variety of gardens and other memorabilia, as well as tributes from family members, such as candles, ribbons, locks, and you'll see these scattered around all over the site. Now, when you arrive to the third tunnel historical site, there are small museums that you can go visit. There are little exhibits, and I definitely recommend that you do so. However, if you've been skipping leg day or are taller than 5'5", it's going to be a tiresome experience for you. That's all I'll say about that. There's not much else I can say about that, really. You'll just have to find out for yourself. Now, since North Korea and South Korea are no longer at war, I can't imagine that many things have changed regarding the processes of visiting these locations. I don't think that any old person can cross into North Korea, and I don't think that any old person from North Korea can come back now. However, when I was there, you were given a briefing and told what you can and what you cannot do when visiting these locations. Now, I've heard on the North Korean side, they're a lot more relaxed regarding the rules of engagement when visiting these locations, but as far as visiting from South Korea, there are a lot of do's and don'ts that you'll be told and then reminded of during your visit. And also at this site is where the Bridge of No Return is located. Now, the Bridge of No Return was a specific location where prisoner exchange was made between South Korea and North Korea. Prisoners of South Korea could choose to remain captives in South Korea, or they could choose to return back to North Korea. Now, this is also the location where you visit the iconic blue buildings. This is where North Korean officials and South Korean officials discuss politics and war policy. And then finally, you'll visit the fence line. This is where you hear about the giant speakers speaking propaganda to North Korea, and also their speakers speaking propaganda to South Korea. You can also see the North Korean flag in their, what I'm told and what you are told, is a fictional city. You can see all of this through your own eyes, or there are binoculars that you can purchase while you're there. The entire experience is very surreal. While you're on the bus going to these locations, they have a video going regarding the history of the Korean War. So then when you finally get to visit these locations, you have a much greater appreciation for everything that you see. Now, I took a day out of my own schedule to go to Seoul and visit the Korean War Museum. While the entire museum is amazing, and it takes you through not only the Korean War, but any war conflict that Korea has been involved in, and the potential capabilities of what Korea presently and may have in the future are in regards to war, it's a very fascinating museum. And did I mention it's free? I recommend as soon as you get there, leave a donation. And after visiting the whole museum, if you feel compelled to, leave a second donation. I know I did. And if you visit this location, bring as many cameras and batteries as you can, because there are so many photographic opportunities. Every angle and every corner of the museum has something to offer, as long as you have a keen eye for it. Now, there are many great videos online of walkthroughs of the Korean War Museum and the surrounding areas. I'll be sure to link the ones that really spoke to me down in the comments below. Now, there were 2 exhibits that specifically spoke to me as an individual. One of them was the Memorial Hall, which are on the outside of the building. They actually list the names of all the people and all the countries that they came from, and if they came from the United States, all the states that they came from as well. Now, it was a really heart-touching moment for me, because up until that point I hadn't experienced anything like that museum before. And whenever I came to see the panel with all of my fellow Texans on it, it definitely leaves an impression on you for the rest of your life. Now, the exhibit that I'm going to share with you is called the Drop Exhibit. It consists of 270 degrees of panel that display images, videos, and have audio commentary as well. Now, the audio tells the story of the Korean War from the United Nations perspective. And in the center of the room hangs a teardrop made of the dog tags of fallen military members that were found in the Korean War. Now, if I remember right, that has a total of 1,300 dog tags of individuals that paid the ultimate sacrifice for the safety and freedom of the South Korean people. So that's what I'm going to share with you now, is the video that I took while I was observing this exhibit. Well, guys, I hope you found that information beneficial and it spoke to you like it spoke to me. I'd really love to hear your comments on the exhibit, the War Museum, or your experience visiting these locations as well down in the comments below. Thanks for stopping by Wingman Wednesday. I'm Bruce with Waha, asking, hey, where's your wingman? So without further delay, enjoy.
Unfamiliar scenery unfolded before me. No one knew of Korea in Asia. It was fighting an uphill battle against communist invasion. War supplies flowed in through Busan Port. Young warriors across the world gathered under the flag of the UN. cheering Koreans longing for freedom and peace. Our high morale to give trust, hope to them. The front line glowed hot, summer sun, desperate battles, numerous corpses. It was hell. Bitter cold was another harassing enemy. Our young warriors fled to defend the soil. Against a tidal wave of enemies. 1,129 days of the long overseas fire. No winners, no losers. Although gunfire had stopped, the number of youths were sacrificed in fierce battles for freedom and peace. Passing over 60 years, old soldiers remember forever the noble sacrifice through a deep tear dry.